Hey Wonderwall, it's Heather Brooker with Motherhood in Hollywood, and I am super excited today because we are going to be talking about Comic-Con and all of the exciting, awesome things that were happening at Comic-Con over the past weekend. I'm just going to wait a moment, let a few fans join the page. Just water, promise. So I want to talk about Comic-Con. I had the opportunity to go this past weekend. I would love to hear from you guys. If anybody went, I would want to hear, first of all, tell me where you're watching from. And if you got to go to Comic-Con, like what were your favorite reveals? What were the big things you were most looking forward to see? Was there anything you were kind of disappointed in? I'd love to hear that. There was, I feel like every time I go to Comic-Con, there's always so much that I miss. Because you can spend most of your time waiting in line for panels, and I feel like you miss so much of what's happening, like even the smaller panels, like at Comic-Con HQ had a little area by the Hilton that was doing special panels. Nerd HQ, of course, had a bunch of panels there. There was stuff going around all in and around Comic-Con this year in San Diego. So if you're just joining here on the Wonderwall Facebook page, hello and welcome. My name is Heather, and I have a podcast and a website called Motherhood in Hollywood, where I talk about the two things I love most, which is acting and parenting, Hollywood and entertainment, and being a mom. So let's talk about Comic-Con. All right, first of all, I want to say there's a lot to go over. So I probably will not touch on every single thing that happened this past weekend at Comic-Con because we'd be here all day, right? That's a lot. One of the main things I want to talk about was the big buzz early on was Star Trek. The Star Trek Beyond premiere. There was a big line of people waiting. They were doing sort of a, it wasn't really a raffle, but you got to go up and draw a golden ticket out, or hopefully a golden ticket to get into the Star Trek premiere. So a lot of people were really excited to go see Star Trek Beyond. Because I didn't get down there until a little bit later, didn't get to go see it. So I haven't seen Beyond yet, but I've had a few friends who have. If you were one of the ones who got in to see Star Trek, let me know what you thought. Because a lot of my friends were giving it kind of a B. And these are Star Trek fans. I have another podcast called Booze and Phasers, where all we talk about is Star Trek fandom and our love for Star Trek. And a lot of my friends were kind of like, it was just okay. I think it's the general excitement and the fandom, though, that they liked about seeing Star Trek, though. So tell me if you got to see that. I think one of the big events this weekend for Star Trek fans at Comic-Con was the information that we got from Bryan Fuller about the new TV show that's coming out. Bryan Fuller is the showrunner for the new CBS All Access version of Star Trek. And we learned the name. It's going to be called Star Trek Discovery. Ooh, what are we going to discover? So that was pretty exciting. We also got to see the ship for the first time, which was pretty cool. And I had some friends who were in that panel who said that Bryan Fuller got a little, not emotional with fans, but he got a little political, had a little rhetoric about Gene Roddenberry's original vision for Star Trek and how it was all about love and hope and creating a better path for the future, which kind of seems appropriate right now with all the things that are going on in the political spectrum. Don't worry, we're not getting political. Ain't nobody have time for that. This is all about entertainment. We're keeping it light. But he kind of had told everybody at the panel to make a promise as they were leaving to be better people and to help make the world a better place, which is, I guess, what Gene Roddenberry's vision was for Star Trek. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so let's move on to a couple of other things that I want to talk about. We got to see our first look at the new Wonder Woman. Are you guys excited to see Wonder Woman? I think so. I'm excited. I like the idea of Wonder Woman coming back. I have the older version in my head, the old TV show version, because I'm old. And I'm excited to see this sort of newly imagined, vamped up version, Gal Gadot. I hope I'm saying her name is right. And Chris Pine is in that. It's funny for me. Whenever I see Chris Pine now, I'm like, hey, it's Captain Kirk. So I hope I'm able to picture him in another role. So love seeing the new Justice League trailer. That was cool. Getting our a closer glimpse or another glimpse as Jason Momoa as Aquaman, right? Pretty badass. There's going to be a new Flash in the Justice League. And when I say new Flash, it means like, I'm used to the one we see on TV on the CW. I think he's pretty great. So I'm sure this other guy will be fine. I'm sure he'll be great. Ben Affleck's Batman. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. What do you guys think? I know when he was first cast, the internet lost its mind. It was like, no, Ben Affleck, that's terrible. But I don't know. I thought he was pretty great. I bought him as Batman. They also revealed, now this is for my deep track nerds here. This is for the people who are like really into comic book fandom and geekdom. They revealed a new Doctor Strange trailer, and that was pretty exciting. Of course, it stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Tilda Swinton. It looks like it's going to be more of a fantastical, magical journey compared to some of the other sci-fi types of, or not sci-fi, comic booky movies that have been coming out lately. It definitely looks like it's more based in magic and in the world of magic. So if you're into that, like I'm a fan of the Harry Potter movies, and that's kind of, you know, it kind of had that feeling and that vibe to me. Don't yell at me. I know they're not the same thing. I promise. But it just sort of had that feeling for me. And also, I'm so excited for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. James Gunn, they released, was there, and he released a new trailer. They released a new trailer showing the new film. I'm really looking forward to that. And he talked a little bit about Baby Groot, how Baby Groot is now growing after the old Groot died. There's no pleasant way to say that. He died. So Baby Groot is coming out. There was also on the Comic-Con floor a bigger version of the Baby Groot that you could take pictures with, which was really cool. I saw Chris Hardwick there taking a picture. In fact, there was a really great vibe on the floor this year. It's so hard to walk around on the Comic-Con floor. If you've ever been to Comic-Con, you know you are shoulder to shoulder with everybody, and you're kind of moving like an inch at a time, and all of the like sweaty nerds are kind of packed in there. And then you've got all your cosplayers who are dressed up in all these elaborate costumes that they've worked on all year, and you're just kind of pushing through the crowd to get to wherever it is you want to go. There's like a Marvel booth, a DC booth, there was a Nickelodeon booth, there was a Pokemon booth that I stopped at to take some pictures because Pokemon Go, it's all the rage. But it's always a really fun time to be at Comic-Con because everyone sort of agrees that we're all fans of whether it be, you know, something from a CW show, like if you're a fan of Arrow and the Flash, which I am, or if you're a fan of like actual comic books, you can go and look for your favorite comic books there and try to find maybe a rare one that you've been looking for. And there's also just t-shirts and all kinds of swag that you can buy at Comic-Con. And then we actually spent a lot of time outside of Comic-Con in the, like I said, Nerd HQ areas and in, let's see, Petco Park. There was a lot happening at Petco Park. Did you guys have a favorite area? If anybody went to Comic-Con that's watching right now, did you have a favorite place that you liked outside of the actual con itself? There was a whole Mr. Robot exhibit where you could go in and see what it's like in like the virtual world of Mr. Robot, which is really cool. That show's massive right now. We actually got to go to, my friend Heather and I and Claudia and Audrey, they co-host Booze and Phasers with me, that Star Trek podcast. We actually went inside we got to go to the sci-fi party, so we were totally like celeb watching, and we saw Tara Reid and the cast of Sharknado, which was pretty cool. And who else did I see there? Oh, I made a note to put it down. Oh, Will Arnet, that's pretty awesome. Elijah Wood. And for my Star Trek fans, once again, bringing it back around to Star Trek, we saw Brent Spiner, and I almost died. I was like, oh my God, it's Data from Star Trek. I know, that's probably also a pretty deep track for those of you who, you're either a fan and you know who that is, or you don't. Oh, I want to mention too, they talked about at Comic-Con at the Guardians of the Galaxy panel, a new Disneyland ride that's going to be based on Guardians of the Galaxy. And as a big Disney fan, I'm super excited for that. I don't know if it's going to be like a virtual ride, or I'd heard rumors that it might replace the Tower of Terror. And for those who are big fans of the Tower of Terror, you know, like, you may or may not be into that, but I'm excited. I think it's cool. I like the movie. My husband really likes the movie, so we're looking forward to seeing that. Also wanted to let you know, if you want to check out what it's going to look like, the ride is going to kind of be, you can go on Disneyland's YouTube page and take a look at it there. So what else did I want to tell you guys about Comic-Con? I just want to look over my notes and make sure I didn't miss anything. It was a really fun time. To be honest, it was just nice to get away for the weekend. It was exhausting. Like, we did it basically in like 24 hours, like a quick little whoop. We're in San Diego. We're gonna do everything and see everything, and then whoop, we're out. We found a new breakfast place. I'm just gonna tell you really quick. We found this new breakfast place that served breakfast balls, and they are amazing. It was the Werewolf Cafe. Thank you for creating and inventing breakfast balls, you guys. They're like biscuits and gravy, and like, but they're not really biscuits. They're like balls of cheese and potatoes and bacon, and then they pour gravy on them. What? I know. That sounds amazing. So I would love to hear from you guys. If you went to Comic-Con, if you had a special panel that you loved. Oh, we saw Kevin Smith too. Hello, Mr. Comic-Con himself. That was a big celebrity sighting. We're yelling, Kevin, oh my God. So that was kind of a thrill for us too. And we just had a great time. It's just so nice to be down there amongst all of the fans of everything you can imagine, every kind of genre of film and television, you know, it's all there. And it's such a good time going to Comic-Con. I'm going to do a little write-up about it on my website, motherhoodinhollywood.com. I'm also talking a little bit about it. Hi, Zirak. Am I saying your name right? Hi. I am going to write about it on motherhoodinhollywood.com. I'm also going to talk about it on my podcast. If you guys are fans of podcasts and entertainment-related podcasts, check out motherhoodinhollywood.com. It's available, or Motherhood in Hollywood. It's available on iTunes. You can subscribe to the show there. I interview actors, directors, producers, writers, anybody in the entertainment industry about their stories and their fandom and parenting topics and stuff like that. It's a really fun time. There's lots of swears. If you're into swearing, then this is the podcast for you. So, and maybe I don't quite swear that much, but whatever. To each his own. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me a little bit here on the Wonderwall Facebook page to talk about Comic-Con. Very excited for all of the new nerd things that are coming out. It's going to be a great year in the coming year for nerds. Justice League, Wonder Woman, new Guardians of the Galaxy, new Star Trek TV show. It's all good, right? Right. All right. Follow me on Facebook. Go and find the Motherhood in Hollywood Facebook page. Click like, and you guys can keep up with everything I'm doing over there. Also, you can find me at Motherhood in Hollywood on Instagram and at MIH Podcast on the Twitter. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.